Hey guys, welcome back. Here we are again, and I hope you enjoy this informative kind of fragrance review. Obviously, all my stuff's off the cuff. I shoot from the hip. I don't, script anything. Off we go. I don't claim to be any kind of expert, but if you take a second and look in front of me, I think you'll know where this one's going to be going. Aventus again with the Aventus. Well, if anyone's watched any of the other videos, my very first massive ramble one I did was about half an hour long, and it was all on Aventus, and it's many clones. If you didn't see that one, basically don't bore yourself with it unless you really want to kill half an hour. But it was all about my sort of journey with Aventus and where I think Aventus is now compared to where it was. Hunting batches, things like that. So the reason I'm doing this one, I haven't done an upload for a little while actually, but I kind of got to thinking the other day, when these clones come out, you buy them or don't buy them, look at reviews, and they can just end up getting kicked in the back of a cupboard, and some are good, some are okay, some are just crap. And I thought that because I'd done the original video, I think this is maybe 6 months later, something like that, I thought I would just update you on where, of any of those clones that I looked at, and ones that I've had, I didn't even show you, I've had loads over the years, but if there's any that are really worth it, if I've still kept them, they weren't kicked in the back of the cupboard, and I use them. And yeah, there's one. It's hiding under there, and I will get to that in a bit, because every other one that I showed you in the video, I haven't bothered with. It got, again, tossed aside, just not really, not good enough, didn't spend enough money on it for me to think I've got to use this up now. So I've just put them in the back of the cupboard, don't use them, apart from this one. And this is, in my, amateurish, absolutely zero credibility to say anything other than complete amateur. But I do love Aventus. This is indeed the finest clone you will find of it, and in fact, for me, it's made buying Aventus redundant. So let's get into this. Right, so I've got a couple of mine down here. I've got a couple more upstairs. This is my 16M01, which is beautiful, real heavy blackcurrant bergamot. Man, this stuff, it's really strong stuff. I'm not, again, going through reviews of it. If you like Aventus, look up 16M01. You find everything out. People far better than me explaining it. But it's a powerhouse. Not so much bergamot and pineapple, but much more on the berries, and it's awesome. This is a 17S21. I bought a flagon of that. I've still got about 120 ml left, something like that, 110 ml. Again, this is much more bergamot, much more sort of pineapple, freshy, than that one, but both still very good. In my last video that I did on Aventus, I had down here a bottle, and that was my 15U11, which was a real pineapple blast, probably the most heaviest pineapple blast batch that certainly since the sort of pre-14s, and it was lovely. But you know what, I flogged it. Now, I know it sounds like sacrilege, don't shoot me, but the thing is, when you've collected batches, not to be confused with bitches, when you've collected batches of Aventus, what happens is you collect it not because you only want to wear it and you want to smell good and smell like that batch, because the stuff's so fucking expensive to buy now, and there's so many people faking it, like proper faking it and putting it in bottles and stuff, that if you are lucky enough and rich enough to be able to buy a decent batch, you won't want to frigging wear it, because it's too expensive to wear unless you're like, one of the rich elite. And what I found with that one, the 15U11, was when I picked it up, I got it for a really good price. Guy on an Aventus site that I'm on Facebook, he managed to source a guy that had 3 bottles, and we had a bottle each. And I paid about 220 quid for it, but that was about 5 years ago. And 120 ml. Well, if you saw the video, you'd see the bottle. But I let it go, because I just thought, look, I've got 5 bottles of Aventus, well, 4 now, and I'm just not going to wear it. It's just too expensive. I mean, that stuff just goes for like fortunes. I actually sold it on to another collector. And I mean, I could have gone on the eBay road, and yeah, these things are commanding 600, 700, 800 quid. You know, I bought it from a collector, so I sold it to someone else who was on a collector site. He sort of just passed it on, far less than that. But the reason being, you know, this stuff is what's the point? You know, like, you know, if you're not going to wear, it's too expensive to wear for mere mortals like us to wear. What's the point? You know, so, but. And a little follow on from that as well about batch collecting. You know, I've gone down that rabbit hole. I've done all that, and you know what? If anyone's on here now thinking, oh, you know, I'd love to get an Aventus is shit now, and yeah, it is shit now if you can buy the shop. Certainly nowhere near worth what they're charging for it. And you know, I'd really like to get an older batch. Please don't. Please just forget it. Forget it. It's gone. Like no one else is smelling of it either, mate. So, because no one's wearing it, because if they have got it, they're keeping it, and if they are wearing it, they'll blast through it so quickly it's gone. You know, they only made so much of it. Don't go batch chasing. You know, I was lucky. I bought a few batches and I've sold a few batches, and you know, I'm probably 500-600 quid in, like out of pocket. But then I've still got another 4 bottles of it, so I'm okay. But they aren't making that shit anymore, obviously. So it's just running out, and anything 99% of the time you're going to buy something that someone is faked, or they've watered it down, or yeah, either or really. You're going to get robbed. Don't bother. And when I say don't bother, because out of all the, I mean, I must have had 12 to 15 sort of duplicates, dupes, whatever you want to call them, homages to. You know, whatever you want to call them, and the only one that I would say is freaking brilliant, and I don't just mean good, it's brilliant to the point where I would grab the bottle as I would grab the MO1. It's that close. Is this one? There it is. That one. This is brilliant. It's just the Intense Man. I mean, obviously I've got the black bottle as well, and don't get me wrong, that's good, really harsh on the opening, but this one, the limited edition, my god, it's just, my wife actually prefers this to this, and you get that, it's a compliment monster. I mean, like, it is a compliment monster. People will say, well, that's really nice what you're wearing. It's just so good, and the longer I've had this bottle, yes, it has, it's settled. It's really flourished over time. Obviously, that's where the oxygen's getting into the mix as I've been using it, and this stuff's it's phenomenal. It's just, this is Aventus. This is how it should be. If this was bottled in Aventus bottles, there would be no arguments over batches. If this was in not this one, but in the stuff that's come out since 2019. we wouldn't even be here. You wouldn't chase batches, and this is just, I've got no reason to lie. You know, this is it's just, I mean, you get a little bit of smoke off the top. You just get, you know, you get that bergamot hit off the bounce, something that Aventus doesn't do these days. And the dry down, man, those sweet woods are, and that you almost get that sort of sweet pencil shaving off the mids. You know, it's just, because obviously it's been sitting on the cap, so you kind of get all of it, but it's just, it's phenomenal. Its longevity is good, it's great silage, it performs so well, projects so well. It's just, they really knocked it out of the park. I would advise anyone for 50, I think you can get it for about 50, 55 quid, something like that. 60 quid, buy 2 bottles of it. Still, that's 120 quid. Stick a bottle to one side, and just use it. You know, just use it. It's great stuff. The other ones, the Explorers and the whatever else is I had down here, and a couple of others I've had. Liao, something like that. Some bullshit. One I bought from Liao. They're just all right. They're okay. You know, like. But this really, they kind of this is obviously their hero product. I would say the Marv's hero product, and they went to frigging town on it. They went to town on it, and they freaking nailed it. So yeah, that would be my conclusion. Is just go for this. You will not be disappointed. And like I said, with batches, just don't bother. You know, just don't bother. There's too much fakery out there. And when you got this new kid on the block, show my age, don't bother. Just buy this, and yeah, you won't be disappointed. Anyway, well, thanks for listening to my ramblings, and I will upload a couple more today probably. So anyway, thanks for watching. Cheers.